Welcome back, everybody, and Simon is no more. And I would love to share the simplicity of the build that it takes in order to kill this guy, unless you're going to parry like 600 times to 1,000 or something, some crazy numbers. So let's dive into this build and let me know what you think at the end. Let's go. Repeat process. We need him marked. I've got a lot of chances at getting him marked, but it's kind of crazy that 12 shots don't mark him with 20% chance. Or 13.
Ready.
Fortune's Fury, he's marked, okay.
Time to hit big.
Here it is. And the money shot. Oh! Woo! Alright, so first things first is assuming that you have all of your Pictos that you need, the weapons that's required, and if not, then just turn around and find them. I will include a link in the description on every Picto and weapon that I possibly can. If I leave some out, I'm sorry, but it is very important to, at least before you fight Simon, you want to go through as much of the content as possible anyway and soak up as much of it, and you're going to find all these Pictos and stuff as you're doing it. So all of this should have been done, assuming you got all of this done, all the weapons, you got all the Pictos that you need. We're going to dive into it. First thing we're going to look at is Luna. So Luna is pretty simple. You don't need a bunch on her, really. We're going to do the cheater Picto, which always play twice in a row. Marking shots. Double mark, which is not really required. Energizing start 1, 2, and 3. Again, not really required. Energizing start is just extra AP on a battle start. The objective here, though, is to set yourself up with as much AP as possible. That way you can hit your marking shots on him and mark him and do as much damage with Maelle when it comes her turn. Fortune's Fury, he's marked, okay.
Daddy, chill.
The big ones that you want is exposing attack. Base attack applies defenseless for 1 turn. So, with that being said, that's when you're going to just basic attack. You'll see me do in the beginning, and it'll apply defenseless, which at that point in the future, they will take more damage. And the weapon with her is going to be the Angerim, which base attack applies 2 burn per fire stain. Sciel's a little bit more important because she has a lot of buffs. And with that being said, you need to have things like Energizing Powerful, Energizing Shell, and Energizing Rush. And all of those are going to work as soon as you hit offset, which offset or all set is apply Shell, Powerful, and Rush. As soon as you apply all them, again, you're going to want to have the cheater Picto on her. But actually, it's not the cheater Picto you want on her. You just want faster than strong. Always play twice in a row, but deal 50% less damage. We're not dealing damage with her, so this is the ideal Picto for her. Only costs 10, and always play twice in a row and deal 50% less damage. But as I stated, we are not doing damage with her, so she will get to play twice in a row. I have the first strike Picto on her as well. Now, the first strike Pictos aren't needed if your speed is up there high enough, if you have them in order in your party that you want them to be in and play in, as well as the speed if they're up there. You won't actually have to have the first strike Picto. So just move some stuff in and move some stuff out until you get the order of that you want, which for me is Lune, Sciel, and Maelle at the end, because you're going to want to set up, nuke. And again, the energizing starts 1, 2, and energizing turn. You just need enough AP in order so you can use all set. And as soon as you have enough AP to use all set your first turn, she's going to get back up to 9 AP, which then in return you're going to be able to use Fortune's Fury. And Fortune's Fury, target ally deals double damage for 1 turn. And we know who we are going to be putting that on. Now for the fun one, Maelle. She has a little bit more into her. You will need more Lumina for her. You don't need all of what you see here. I will go through exactly what you need. The Medulum is her best weapon, starts in Virtuous Stance, so you can go ahead and hit this turn 1. If you can't hit this turn 1, you're going to have a lot harder time. I can promise that. You got to set her up in Virtuous Stance. You got to do the Fortune's Fury in order. There's a lot more setting up if you do not have this. If you do not have this weapon, if you did not get it in your first playthrough, and you're at the end and you still don't have it, in order to get it, you got to go back to the Gestral Village and fight Golgra with Maelle and beat her, and then you'll get the weapon. Alright, so again, Maelle is just a little bit more in depth. We have Confident Fighter, 30% increased damage, but can't be healed or not going to be healed, so 30% increased damage. Deal 50% more damage if health is below 10%. You'll understand why here in a minute. And every AP gain is increased by 1, which technically isn't needed. I just really put it in there for the health survivability. If you put something else in there, go for it. It just depends on how much Lumina you actually have. Here you can see I have 231. So let's go ahead and get into this. And as you saw, the first 2 Pictos are damage. That is what you're going to want on her. So we will go at Death's Door. Of course, like I said, deal 50% more damage if health is below 10%. That makes sense with the 1. You're going to want this on max health is reduced to 1. That way you instantly get that buff to do 50% more damage. Augmented First Strike, 50% increased damage on the first hit, more damage. You're going to be the one to hit. Her first hit will connect with 50% more damage. Burn Affinity, 25% increased damage on burning targets. We already set Simon up for the burn. You're going to want First Offensive, first hit dealt and taken deals 50% more damage. Again, I have First Strike on her. I have First Strike on everybody because that's how it had to be set up. Like I said, if your speed is there and you don't need First Strike, or however you can get them to actually run one after another that you want them to, you don't need First Strike, but First Strike is really handy to have. Glass Cannon, deal 25% more damage but take 25% more damage. Again, more damage, we need that. Greater Defenseless, 15% defenseless damage amplification. Again, more damage. We already applied the defenseless with Luna in the beginning, so she will do 15% more damage. Greater Powerful, 15% to powerful damage increase. So since we have buffs from Sciel, we are getting 15% more damage increase. Immaculate, 30% increased damage until a hit is received. We should be the ones going first at this point. We should not have any damage dealt that we've taken. So 30% more increased damage until a hit is received. You need that. This is kind of important in Media's Res. I'm not sure if that's how you say it, but plus 3 shields on battle start, but max 8 health is halved. Again, we're going to need this plus 3 shield because of shield affinity. 30% increased damage while having shields, but receiving any damage will always remove all shields. And I'm pretty sure there's another one that you get increased damage per shield that you actually have. And I do actually have the other powerful shield, 10% increased damage per shield point on self. I will say that the 70 mil that I hit in this video, I'm pretty sure I could have got it well over 100 mil. Because there was a couple things that I didn't actually have, like powerful shield I didn't have equipped at that time. as well as burn affinity, 25% increased damage on burning targets. I didn't have it this time on. There's a couple things that I actually didn't have on, so you don't have to have everything for this to actually work. Inverted affinity, apply inverted on self for 3 turns on battle start, but 50% increased damage while inverted, so again, more damage right off rip. Tainted, 15% increased damage for each status effect on self. So all set gave us powerful, rush, shell. So that's going to be another 45% increased damage. Again, more damage, more damage, more damage. And that's all of them except for the big one that is the hit and miss. Roulette. Every hit has a 50% chance to deal either 50% or 200% of its damage. Now this is definitely a controversial one, but in theory, if you try it again, 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 there's no way that it's not going to hit for that 200% of its damage eventually. So it's kind of needed. If you don't want to use it, whatever. It's just one of those, you die, you retry, die, retry. Eventually the 200% of it will actually hit. So that's where the big damage is going to come from. Alright, and last but not least, the only move you need for her is Stendhal. This is the one-hit move for her. If this move wasn't in the game, I'm not sure what people would do. This move hits extremely hard. And again, using all set, having all those energizing on, as soon as Maelle goes, her turn comes, she's going to have enough AP in order just to rip this one instantly. Alright, so all the pieces are set. All your Pictos are got. You got your weapons. The last thing to do is go to gfuel.com. Get you some of this deliciousness. Use code KingMo at checkout. Support a homie. Save yourself 20 to 30% off on that order. And it's a win-win because you're going to need the fuel in order to take out Simon. Or not, because this is a very simple and easy build. So remember, if you like this video and you think it was helpful, go ahead and drop a comment and let me know. Or if there's anything maybe that I missed out. There's a lot that I know that I actually did miss out on. There's a lot of Pictos probably that I don't have. There's people hitting in the hundreds of millions. I think I've even seen 1 billion. I don't know. I'm just here to get the job done on normal. Everything else will come in the future. And yeah, so until next time, everybody. Peace out. Much love. Take care.